and welcome to Audiophile Finland. Now, I'm taking a break from all the technical stuff. I just want to sit down and enjoy some music. Now, I was a huge Mike Oldfield fan. The first few albums that he did, I absolutely loved. From a young age, I would sit down and listen to these, and they still, if I listen to them now, they still take me back to a time that has long since passed. In fact, the time before me, the 70s folky British music scene that I'm too young to have really enjoyed the first time around. The first three albums in particular were just phenomenal, and Ommadawn is one that I keep returning to. Now, I was on Facebook wasting some time, as I do, a few days ago, and someone posted about an album from 2017, which I had no idea existed. And this is Return to Ommadawn. Now, this completely blew my mind. I thought, how can I, listen to so much Mike Oldfield and have completely missed a release, a revisiting maybe of an album that was so influential on me, an album I hold so dear. So yes, I bought this. I didn't know what to expect. To be completely honest with you, I didn't know what to expect. It's very difficult to live up to something that is so significant in one's past. It's like returning to a lot of old music or old computer games or old books, things that were massively influential in your childhood, and you return to it as an adult. Yeah, you realise the rose-tinted specs kind of give things a gloss that perhaps they never once had. I bought just the MP3s. They were available cheap on Amazon. I think I'm looking at Amazon.com here. And the MP3s are cheap. I wasn't so interested in the audio CD. The one thing I did discover is it's also available in surround sound on a Blu-ray, I think. But I couldn't find this as much as interested as I was. So I bought the MP3 and I thought, well, if it doesn't live up to expectations, then it's not a huge outlay. And if I really like it, I can then seek out the vinyl or the high definition, or ideally the surround format version. First impressions. From the very beginning, the first few bars of the intro, the hairs on the back of my neck stood up in the same way that the same effect the original had. And it's really nice. I mean, I like the work of Mike Oldfield. I like his later albums, but they just don't have the impact that the first three did. I think it is that kind of naivety, the naive, folky, how can I describe this? I don't know. There's just something magical about his first three albums. And his later work is all very good, but it just lacks that emotion that the original albums evoked within me, if that makes any sense at all. So yes, Return to Ommadawn has the same emotion, the same effect on me, but it's not just a cheap return to a previous format to try and make some more easy money. It feels like a genuine return to that period. It's new, it's fresh. It has the same sound and it has the same motifs recurring throughout it, the same instruments used, but it is also modern and fresh. I don't know how to describe this, but the opening bars, I think it's penny whistles. And there's some nice background strings. An electric guitar comes in with a repeating riff. It instantly takes you back to the period of Ommadawn, but with a new story, if you will. And yeah, there's familiar repeating motifs running throughout it. Acoustic guitars, everything, the bells, perhaps not the tubular bells, but everything you would expect from that period is in there, and it is a genuinely beautiful album. Now, I have the MP3s. I was looking around. I found high-res audio have the high sample rate version available. 24, I guess that's 24-bit, 96 kilohertz. And Pro Studio Masters have the 2496 black. I haven't seen the surround sound version available to buy anywhere, but I think it's something I very much want. After listening to this, I think the surround sound version would be absolutely awesome. No, Amazon just seemed to have the CD version, MP3 and vinyl. So this is something I think I'm going to have to seek out. I know Mike Oldfield's actual website does say it has a shop, but you go to the shop link and the shop is no longer available. And just quickly, whilst I'm talking about Mike Oldfield, there's a really great documentary made by the BBC, which is available on YouTube. There's a couple of different versions of this. One is slightly better version than the other. I think it's this one here. Depending on where you are in the world, you may or may not be able to view it. But it is a fantastic documentary that talks through the early years of Mike Oldfield and those early albums. And if you're a fan, even if you're not a fan, it's just a fascinating documentary. So please do check that out as well. But quick summary, regardless of the format, this is an album that if you have any interest at all, is definitely worth listening to. There's a few samples later on which are a little bit jarring in the second half, voice samples, but even then they're not terribly out of place. You can kind of forgive them. Yeah, basically there's nothing really not to like about this, so do go check it out. If you listen to it, leave a comment, let me know what you think. But I was amazed that I'd missed this release, and despite missing it at the time, I'm really very happy I've discovered it now. So thank you for watching. This has been a rather short review, but I hope it'll be the first of many. So until next time, thank you and enjoy your music.